talk like normal just till I know that the sound's working properly and all of that.
Does King Kyle know it's okay to smile? That rhymes.
I think the sound's all good.
2 seconds, I'll get it shared. Nah. I mean, we can do. So, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, boys, girls, microwaves, toasters, and other things. Welcome to your Thursday night watch along as we're watching the action from Beaumont Park into Leicester, where the Leicester Lions take on a very depleted Sheffield Tigers side this evening. Two other meetings going on as well tonight. We'll both be keeping an eye on them, with the Ipswich Witches making the trip to Oxford, as well as the Kings and Stars hosting the Birmingham Brummies. Obviously, I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Dylan Hodgetts. How are we doing?
Tired, very tired, but no, looking forward to this. Should be a good one, and obviously no Alan tonight, so busy night for me and you.
It's always a result not having Alan knowing it. But yeah, so obviously you're in Birmingham in action at Kings Lynn tonight. Shall we have a little rundown of what's going on there?
So the two teams at Kings Lynn tonight, the first of our updates meetings. Both teams depleted, with Kings Lynn operating Tobias ride replacement for Tobias Michalek and Ben Cook guesting for Nicola Clint, and Birmingham receiving the news that Freddie Lindgren was unfit to take his place after he decided to stack it whilst celebrating his win at the weekend, and needed a little bit of physio because he's not breathing very well. So the two teams for that meeting: rider replacement for Tobias Michalek at number 1, it's Benjamin Basso at 2, Ben Cook guests at 3, Niels Christian Everson at 4, Strawberry Jam, Yank Vec goes at 5, Patrick Wojtolo at 6, and Anders Rowe at number 7. For the Brummies, it's rider replacement at 1 for Freddie Lindgren, Steve Worrell goes at number 2, Justin Sedgman at 3, Victor Lampart at 4, Tom Brennan at 5, Piotr Pawlicki at 6, and Leon Flint at number 7. Palmer, you're meant to watch for this one.
So for the Kings Lynn Stars, I've gone for Patrick Wojtolo because he's got a really funny name, and at reserve around Kings Lynn, he could be quite good. And for Kings Lynn, he could prove to be a match winner tonight. He might not be, but you never know. And for Birmingham, I've gone for Victor Lampart tonight. I think he's starting to show some decent form now in the UK. He's ridden the majority of the tracks once now, so it's sort of time for him to start proving his worth.
I was tempted to go for Patrick Wojtolo because he got a 15-point maximum against the Brummies earlier in the season, but if not, I've gone for Anders Rowe. He's having a really good season with Kings Lynn. He's actually averaging just a shade under 5 points a meeting, which is the highest of any rising star in the league. That is currently still at reserve. So Anders Rowe for Kings Lynn, and I'm going to go for Justin Sedgman for the Brummies. We saw him obviously last night at Poole, just being beaten the once in Heat 15, but 14 points from 5, and he'll be hoping to carry that on tonight. So yeah, that's the two I'm going to go for. And the meeting you're covering tonight is Oxford v Ipswich. Do you want to run us down that?
Just let me find it. So here we go for the Oxford Spires, Rowan Tungate rise at number 1, Drew Kemp at number 2, Magic Inoski at number 3, with Charles Wright at number 4. Chris Harris ruining the meeting there, rise at 5, at number 6 is Eric Riss, and 7, Ashton Belgian, versus Scott Nichols guessing at 1 for Ipswich, Dan Thompson at 2, Danny King at 3, Adam Ellis 4, MSI Footing at number 5, Keenan Rowe at 6, Jordan Jenkins at number 7. Mr. Hodge, it's your men to watch.
I'm going to go for Matt Sainovsky for Oxford. He's just starting to find his feet now. He's sent his engines off and they've been sorted out to get the best out of him on British Shale, and I think he's starting to settle down again. He's definitely progressing again now to where you'd expect him to be. And for Ipswich, I'm going to go for the guest at 1, Scotty Nichols. Nobody knows this Oxford track better than Scott does, and I think he's on for a good few points tonight.
So for the Oxford Spires, my man to watch is going to be Charles Wright. I think in the Premiership he's had a below par season, certainly not the sort of season that he had, say, last year and the year before with Bellevue, and ideally needs to start kicking on now for Oxford if they're to make a real good stance in the playoffs coming up. And for the Witches, I've gone for Keenan Rue for the same reasons, really, as Patrick Wojtylo for Kings Lynn. He's getting quite good now, and the spell at reserve is helping him no end, and could prove to be a match winner.
And the meeting we're covering tonight now, I'll do the home team and you do the away team.
Yeah, that works for me, Mo.
Do you want to go first?
I'll do the home team then. So, first Leicester Lions at number 1 is Max Frick. At number 2 is Richard Lawson. Sam Masters goes at number 3. Luke Becker at number 4. Ryan Douglas at number 5. Craig Cook at number 6. And Sam Hagan goes at number 7.
Where's your man to watch for that team?
I'm going to go for a controversial one here, but Craig Cook. He's not had the sort of season since he's been in the Premiership that I'm sure he would have liked. He's not been showing the glimpses in the Premiership that we know he is capable of. And, with him being down at reserve, a lot of people said it was harsh on Drew being released here. And Cookie hasn't really provided the best of replacements, let's just say. So he needs to take that step up.
I'm going to go for Dougie. He's having a really good season in the Premiership. He's dialing back into Leicester again now as well. We know in 2019, I think it was, when he was there. It took him I think it was 19. Yeah, it took him a while to dial in around there, but once he did, he looked really, really good, and I think he's now dialed back in there. With no Jack Holder as well, you'd expect Dougie to probably get a good bagful tonight. For the depleted Sheffield Tigers, Jack Holder failed a late fitness test, and it will be right a replacement for him. Troy Batchelor guests at number 2 for the injured Ty Woofenden. Josh Pickering rides at 3, Carl Howarth at 4, Chris Holder at 5, Jason Edwards at 6, and Dan Jilks at number 7. Who's your man to watch for the Tigers?
I'm going to go for Kyle Howard tonight, and definitely not because he's a Scunthorpe rider. He's been having a solid but consistent season in the Premiership so far, and obviously he's had quite a few years riding at Leicester in the Championship. So if he's going to make a real impression in an away meeting for the Tigers, it's going to be away at Leicester, and I think he's capable of quite a few points tonight.
I'm going to go with Troy Batchelor. I think he's out to prove a point. He's trying to get himself a permanent Premiership spot. I saw him guest the other week for Ipswich at Birmingham at number 5, and he looked really good. So you'd expect him to probably look better at number 2. He's having a very good season in the Championship, and he'll be looking to put himself in that shop window, especially if Wolfie's going to be out long term.
Yeah, 100%. It's It's going to be an interesting meeting, but yeah, we'll certainly see what happens. I'm really looking forward to the meeting. Have we got any score predictions, sir?
For which one? The one we're watching or all of them?
We'll start with the one we're watching tonight.
I'm going to go for Leicester by 12. I think it'll be a 51-39 job. You'd expect Max Frick to probably go through the card. You'd expect Dougie to get a few, Sam to get a few as well. I just think Sheffield look, very depleted, even with rider replacement and everyone able to take an extra ride for Jack. I think they're still a level below, or 2 or 3 levels below actually what they would be with Jack and Woofy.
Can't disagree with you there, to be fair. I've gone for a slightly bigger margin of 53 to 37 for the same reasons you've been saying.
Score prediction for Kings Lynn and Birmingham.
Oh, that's a very, very good question, that's, both teams are quite, you know what, Super 8.
You reckon?
45 all Super 8. Don't ask me who's winning the Super 8, because if I say it's going to be Birmingham, Kings Lynn are going to win it, and if I say Kings Lynn are going to win it, Birmingham are going to win it, but it's going to a Super 8.
You've got a bit more faith than I have. I'm going to go with a Kings Lynn 10-point win. I think the rider replacement, with Yankvek able to take it as well, I'd say he's probably a solid option to have around there, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him come out in number 1 actually. I just think the rider replacement options for Kings Lynn are stronger than the rider replacement options for Birmingham. And last time we were here, Piotr Pavlicki had an absolute Western super mare, so not exactly filled with confidence. So I'm going to go 50-40 to Kings Lynn. And the last one, Oxford and Ipswich. This is a really tough one to call, so I'll let you go first.
42-48. I've gone for an away win for that one. I just think throughout the whole team, Ipswich have just got more firepower. Obviously, Scotty Nichols and Jordan Jenkins in the Ipswich team can pass up so much valuable knowledge of the Oxford track to the boys, and Keenan's flying at the minute, and we don't really need to say much about Emil, do we? So an 8-point Ipswich win for me.
I'm going to agree with you. I'm going to say the exact same scoreline. I don't think Oxford have been that impressive at home. Drew Kemp's obviously going to have to settle in, and that'll take a bit of time. It always does when you make a team change. But they weren't that impressive to a very, very depleted Sheffield team on Monday. They only just about won that one, so I wouldn't be surprised to see them lose tonight to a very solid Ipswich team.
Yeah, so heat number 1 coming up very shortly.
Normal rolls tonight. If you call the race in, I'll do the heat lineups and results.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
I can tell you Kyle Howarth is the rider replacement in heat 1 for Sheffield.
So just waiting for the riders to come round to tapes. Richard Lawson, the last one up to the start, and the lineup is as follows. Going off the inside gate in blue for the Lions is Richard Lawson. Gate 2 in yellow for the Tigers, Troy Batchelor. Gate 3 in red for the Lions is Max Frick. And the rider replacement off the outside in white is Kyle Howarth.
In Kyle. If anyone was used to being in heat number 1 for Sheffield, it's Kyle Howarth, because he's been in quite a lot of heat 1s so far this season. But the start master walks away for the opening race of the night. Max Frick nibbled a little bit there at the start. Won't be surprised to see that one called back, and yet the red flags are out, and rightfully so in my opinion. Max had a little bit of a nibble. What does he think the tapes are? An ice lolly?
and Max will be warned for that. And I don't know why he's needed to nibble there, because you'd expect him to be a firm favourite for this race. Kyle
You'd
actually
expect-
moved slightly on the outside as well.
He did a little bit, but the big focus obviously was more on Max, just because his jump was a little bit more obvious.
I mean,
And with him being that close to the tapes as well, he shouldn't really have needed the thought of having a little jump.
yeah.
Than Richard Lawson could do with strapping his helmet up.
I mean, personally for me there, if I was in the box, I'd be warning Kyle Howarth and Max Frick, because Kyle did move as well. But I doubt that'll be the case.
I mean, well, we wish we could tell you, but we can't because you have to watch this on mute. If anyone that is watching, A, don't be afraid to get in the comments, and B, if you are watching, don't be afraid to get in the comments on YouTube. And if you do make a comment, we'll try and read it out. Or if you've got any questions for us or anything, then you know. We'll try and answer them as best as we possibly can.
Updates may be a bit thin on the ground tonight, actually, because it's the same updater doing the two meetings that we're doing updates from, so they may be a little bit slow on the ground.
Oh, the poor soul.
So a quick reminder of the lineup: inside in blue, Richard Lawson; 2 in yellow, Troy Batchelor; 3 in red, we'd presume on a warning for Max Frick; and the outside in white is Kyle Howarth.
But it is. So, start marshal just getting them into order, and he puts his arms down, walks away. Riders look at the magnets. That was a very much a better start, with a decent start there for the two number twos there, Richard Lawson and Troy Batchelor. But Max Frick now gets up the inside there of Troy Batchelor. Now it is the Lions leading on a 5-1, with Troy Batchelor now retiring at the back. So all of the Tigers' pressure is on Kyle Howarth, who, no disrespect to Kyle, probably isn't gonna catch this Leicester Lions pair, who are basically racing themselves out there now for fun. But Richard Lawson still has the lead. He really has become a master of the Beaumont Park track over the past couple of seasons. Max Frick settled there pretty nicely in the second position. Kyle, as much as he'll never give up, there's not really much chance he's going to get anywhere near Max Frick at this point of time. It's going to be a big tapes to flag win then for Richard Lawson. He could have...
He's gone, his bike's gone!
His bike's gone! That is gifted.
Ho, ho,
Kyle
ho.
with a second place, but he's just gone round to claim that third place anyway. But unfortunate for Richard Lawson there.
Was that an engine? There was just a big puff of smoke coming out of it off the fourth turn.
It could have been. Stuart Dixon giving Max Frick a fist bump as well. What a nice man.
So the result of heat number 1, it was a win for the rider in red, Max Frick; second in white, Kyle Howarth; and third in blue, Richard Lawson. Troy Batchelor retired on the first lap, makes it 4 to the Lions, 2 to the Tigers after heat number 1.
Troy Batchelor retiring on the first lap? Never. Did I just say that out loud?
Refuse to believe it.
But that was a really solid start there from Troy Batchelor to be from Richard Lawson, to be fair, and it just sort of like give me flashbacks to the knockout cup final at Poole last year. He was in the lead, and on bends 1 and 2 of the last lap of one of the races, his bike went bang, which ultimately gave Gunny the aggregate win.
That was a primary chain, weren't it, looking at that?
It was either a primary chain or it was something to do with the carburettor. And there's David Howe, my team manager, also having a quick look at Richard Lawson's bike as well. What a guy.
Big race coming up here. Craig Cook's finally got his Leicester Kevlars. So the lineup of heat number 2 going off the inside gate in white is Jason Edwards. Gate 2 in red is Craig Cook. Gate 3 in yellow is Dan Gilks. And off the outside in blue, Sam Hagan. Ironically, the render being used for BSN is Craig Cook's face over Sam Hagan's body.
Well, certainly something that, ain't it? And obviously, we watched Sam Hagan in action last night. Was in very, very good form for the Poole Pirates again, scoring a solid 7 points.
And Cook here will be hoping to have a bit of a better night. Not really been the move that he was hoping for yet.
In this kind of race, you would expect him to be the favourite, but the start master then walks away for heat number 2, and Craig Cook's made a blinder of a start, and so is Sam Hagan as he comes around the outside of the Tigers duo here, and it's Craig Cook that has the lead then, followed around by Sam Hagan, with Dan Jokes putting Sam Hagan now under some pressure. Dan Jokes forgot his Sheffield Kevlars by the looks of things, and wearing a nice little t-shirt on top of his suit there, but Craig Cook still has the lead, but Sam Hagan now comes up the inside there of Craig Cook. Now Craig Cook really needs to protect Sam Hagan here out in front, because Dan Jilks will be through barring any failure, and Dan Jilks just like that, like a knife going through butter up the inside of Craig Cook, but Craig Cook maintains that second place by just blasting around the outside there a little bit, but Sammy Hagan's got this one in the bag. Jason Edwards unfortunately struggling a little bit towards the rear of the field. He'll still have a smile under that helmet though. But Jilksy now trying to go wide over Craig Cook. Is he going to work out for him? He's got one last bend to go. Jilksy just goes a little bit too wide, and that gives the Lions a 5-1.
Cookie was riding like a novice there. Looked like he had absolutely no confidence. First lap he was racing Sam Hagan. I don't think it's all pleasant between Hagan and Cook. Cook's gone straight back in. It looked like they were racing each other out front, and Sam was definitely quicker. But yeah, Cookie was riding a bit like a novice then. So the result of heat number 2 was a win for the rider in blue, Sam Hagan. Second in red, Craig Cook. And third in yellow, Dan Gilks. 5-1 to the Lions makes it 9-3 on aggregates. And this is, when you've got your number 1 missing and you've got RR, you need your reserves firing as well. And that's probably the Achilles heel for Sheffield, just not having a fantastic reserve pairing.
I think that, yeah, like when the Sheffield team was announced at the start of the season, they had a very, very, very solid top 5, but the 2 reserves looked quite vulnerable. And fair play to Sheffield for getting riders like Troy, Chris, and Ty in, but if you haven't got the firepower at the bottom of the team, what's the point in having a heavy top 5?
That's it, yeah.
But yeah, great ride there from Sam Hagan. A really nice battle there between Jilksy and Craig Cook, and Jilksy unfortunate just to get 3rd place there.
This is a man on screen now that'll be looking for the better night. He had an absolute nightmare at Poole last night, Josh Pickering.
Can confirm he did.
It was terrible, weren't he? There's no 2 ways about it.
It wasn't the best.
The lineup of heat number 3 going off the inside gate in blue will be looking to turn his Leicester form round, because he's not been fantastic this year. Luke Becker. Gate 2 in white, Josh Pickering. Gate 3 in red is Sam Masters, and off the outside in yellow for his second ride on the night, Carl Howarth. Somewhat fortunate in heat 1, but sometimes you need a little bit of luck, and that will do his confidence the world of good for this one. On the same gate he was on in heat 1.
If Luke Becker or his family's watching, happy Independence Day and all that. But yeah, no, Kyle was very, very fortunate in that first race there, but he's got experience of gate 4 around here now, so hopefully he can put that to some good use as the start master and walks away for heat number 3. The riders look at the magnets.
Luke
and
Becker's
Luke
box
Becker's
come
packed
back.
up already, but Sam Masters has had an absolute blinder of a start there, but Pico and Kyle looking to race Sam Masters, and Kyle, nice dive bob up the inside there of Sam Masters to take the lead. great ride there from King Kyle, the skipper of the Sheffield Tigers, with Sam Masters now all over the back of Kyle Howarth. Josh Pickering sitting there in third. Obviously, Luke Becker, his bike packed up. He didn't even go 2 yards away from the start line. So we've got a bit of a race on our hands now here. We've got 2 laps left. Can Josh Pickering get any closer to Sam Masters there in second? Kyle's out in front and gone. I don't think anyone's catching Kyle barring any form of mechanical failure. But Pico's edging ever closer to Sam Masters, although it does look like the riders are struggling on this track, not just like the reserves, but all these guys struggling around the Beaumont Park circuit. But Kyle Howarth's going to take the win, and that is very pleasing to see. Sam Masters in second, and Pico picks up 1 point.
Was it the fuel not being turned on for Becker? Maybe.
It could be that.
And when we watched the BSN coverage at the start with commentary, Stuart Dixon said that Luke Becker was out testing the track earlier. So the result of Heat 3, it was a win for the rider in yellow, Kyle Howarth, second in red, Sam Masters, and third in white, Josh Pickering, closes the gap to 11 points to 7 on the night, as Luke stands on the centre green holding his bike. Oh, is that his chain? No, that's shooting oil. Oh yeah, his chain's gone. But it's
Chain's
just
on that.
yeah, his chain's. He went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, no, he certainly didn't have to check out and go get an hot dog there.
And this is one of those tracks where when you say they could check out and go and get a McDonald's, or know just how close McDonald's is to this track, so I'll understand the reference this time.
It is literally just around the corner.
It's beautiful, and it come out the speedway straight to Mackey's for the Big Mac and chips.
You know, of every single time I've been to Leicester, I've never been to the Mackey's.
Oh, gotta be done.
I always go to the chip shop instead, which is just in that little precinct.
Chip shop is nice. Dougie making David Howe do a bit of running.
Well, David Howe's got to earn his keep somehow, hasn't he? Steve Brandon looks like a beat at Warwick line this evening.
Starters we mean to go on at Kings Lynn. That's all I'll say until we bring an update from the other tracks. So carry on.
Big up value.
The line-up for heat number 4, going off the tailgate in blue, winner first time out, Sam Hagan. Second in yellow, who had some speed in his first race, Dan Gilks. Gate 3 in red is my man to watch, Ryan Douglas. And off the outside in white is Chris Holder.
That it is. Would have been nice for Jokesy to remembered his own team race suit.
I did wonder why Jokes' logo looked bigger than the Sheffield one on the Kevlars. It was until you said about the t-shirt that I noticed he's got his own on. What a sausage.
Kyle did that once at Scuddy this year. He looked like a bit of an idiot. So, start marshal Darren then walks away for heat number 4 and the tapes has risen. It's a solid start there for Sam Hagan and Ryan Douglas joins us in.
Oh my God, what's Sam doing?
Hagan sends Ryan Douglas so wide he could go out and literally be thrown into the Mackey's door, but that means that Chris Holder's taken advantage. Whoa, Dougie nearly wiping his own teammate out there. I think there could be some beef between the Leicester camp at the moment, and now because of how wide Sam Hagan's had to go out wide, Dan Jokes has now come underneath him, and Sheffield have been very, very, very fortunate in this heat so far. But and Chris Holder still leads then. He's been chased in second by Ryan Douglas, but to be fair, Chris is about half a lap ahead. I don't think there's any way of being able to chase Chris down. He could go just get a hot dog from the crowd and he'd still win this one. And it looks pretty spaced out now. If anything, the big battle's at the back between Sam Hagan and Dan Jokes. But Jokes has got this one all but in the bag. And Chris Holder looking very, very stylish. And he goes out to win heat number 4.
What a disaster for Leicester. Dougie turned straight round to apologise there. What a disaster if you're Stuart Dixon.
I think I can almost see the steam coming out of his ears now.
So the result of heat number 4, it was a win for the rider in white Chris Holder, second in red Ryan Douglas, and third in yellow Dan Gilks. Closes the gap again. It's now Leicester 13, Sheffield 11. The turns 1 and 2 seem to be catching people out a bit.
It does a bit. It's if anyone from Leicester is watching this, I'm not going to apologise for giving my thoughts on the Leicester track.
I don't think that was the Leicester track then. I don't know what Sam Hagan was doing going so wide when Dougie was on the outside of him.
But the track, to be fair, it does catch riders out. But Dougie obviously wanted to repay the compliment there.
That wasn't intentional either. It just lifted.
It's a racing thing, you know. I'm sure these guys will be watching these replays back on the BSN big screen, and they'll both realise it's just a racing accident.
I mean, for me, Sam Hagan's was a little bit more deliberate. I don't know if he knew it was Dougie on the outside, but that was definitely pilot error that put Dougie out there. But with Dougie's, he just caught some grip and overshot the corner.
Yeah, 100%. You know, it's like you and I. We've both been watching Dougie long enough to know that he wouldn't do that sort of thing on purpose, even if it was his worst enemy. So I think for Sam Hagan, it could have been down to a little bit of inexperience as well.
Yeah, you could be right. Tractors
And
are
now
now out.
And now we've got the best race of the night because the tractor's out. Well, the tractors are out. I'm going to have a look at its updates. And after one heat at Sandy Lane in Oxford Spires 2, Ipswich Witches 4.
What was the result of the first one?
2 seconds. Apologies, I've just had to tell someone that I love them. Nichols, Tungate, Thompson, Kemp.
Oh dear.
Ipswich win the toss and take gates 1 and 3. Kemp looked to have made the start, but Witches on a 5-1 down the back straight. Tungate into third at the end of lap 1 and second at the end of lap 3.
Little bit more drama at Kings Lynn actually. Yank Vec was the rider coming into heat number 1 as the rider replacement, missed the 2 minutes and was disqualified, and was replaced by Patrick Wojdelow. Heat 1 was won by Ben Basso, second in white was the rider replacement for the Brummies, Justin Sedgman, and third in red, Patrick Wojdelow, and that's all we've got at the moment. So it's 4-2 to Kings Lynn after one race, and Stevie Worrell is crap.
Thursday night Speedway handshake 4-2s in heat 1.
I think while we've got a minute, we'll take a quick breather because we are doing a lot of talking tonight. So anytime we can have just a quick couple of 5 minutes, I think it'll be good to take it.
Yeah, I think we'd appreciate it. That was a much needed break. That we just had a little moan about
Life.
Speedway. But can't you see the resemblance? Steve Brandon looks like an old Warish line.
He does. Even the hair's the same. Take the glasses off, you got, and Brando's got a few more wrinkles. Other than that, it's rubbish line.
And maybe a more stable back.
Yeah,
Well, did I just say that out loud?
Oh, we've got 2 viewers.
2? I'm not one of them.
Neither. Well, I am, but it don't show me up as a viewer because the comments come up on my thing. So we've actually got 2 viewers. Whoever the other viewer is, feel free to whack in a comment. Keep us talking whilst we struggle to watch this. Did I say that out loud?
We don't buy unless you have cake, and if you have cake, then please invite me round to your house. Josh Pickering taking the rider replacement in heat number 5.
So the line-up for heat number 5, going off the inside gate in yellow, Troy Batchelor. Gate 2 in red is Sam Masters. Gate 3 in white, the rider replacement Josh Pickering. And off the outside in blue is Luke Becker. The 2 riders who retired from their first races off the inside and outside here. So hopefully one of them's going to score.
Well, hopefully. I mean, the Troy Bachelor Heat 1 give me flashbacks to that grand season of 2021. Remember that? Yeah, he wasn't the greatest back in the Sheffield fan days. Still haven't been to Sheffield this year. This is very unlike me, to be fair. But yeah, and Luke Becker looking obviously to well, a bit more luck with him being able to make it to the first bend this time.
It's a nice clock.
I'm glad you said clock then, because that could have come out very different.
I was very careful because I know what you're like.
I don't know what you're on about, sir. As the start master then walks away for heat number 5.
He's gone again!
But Luke Becker's bike's gone again, but he's gone 2 yards, so that's basically a big success there for Luke Becker. But Sam Masters currently has the lead, being chased all the way by Josh Pickering. Troy Batchelor, to the surprise of absolutely everybody, he has completed a lap and he looks a little bit fast, but not as fast as Josh Pickering and Sam Masters, as that gap gets even closer now between Pico and Sam Masters. Masters holding the right line at the moment, but Pico's not going to give up just yet. So we're going to lap number 3 then. Sam Masters has a lead. Pico now trying to use the outside run. Not quite working. Drives himself back to the inside. He's getting closer. He just lifts a little bit there. A very, very, very well controlled ride there to keep himself and Sam Masters on the bike. 1 lap left to go, and you'd expect this to remain a 3-all, but Pico's not going to give up just yet. He goes wide. Masters goes wide. Pico up the inside. Can he do it? He's ever so close, but it's not going to happen. Barring any form of miracle, Masters just he uses the fence as a bouncy castle there.
It's only taken 5 heats, but we've got a race.
Don't expect many more.
And these 2 really good friends off the track, pair of Edinburgh legends, get on really well. You know it's always going to be hard but fair, and it was a good battle up front, that.
If BSN could get the score right at 16-14, that would be greatly appreciated. Thanks.
So the results of Heat 5, it was a win for the rider in red, Sam Masters. 2nd in white, Josh Pickering, and 3rd in yellow, Troy Batchelor. Luke Becker takes his distance travelled to about 4 yards tonight.
Basically a success for him. He can go off for a Mackies now.
2 races and he hasn't even made it to the first turn yet.
American Independence Day. Let him have a day off. But yeah, very, very unfortunate for Luke Becker there, and knowing what certain Leicester fans alike.
They'll be calling for his head.
Well, they've already been calling for that, but it's
Poor
got to
fella.
get to a point. It's got to get to a point where our wee Scottish pal has to contemplate things, and we're not on about Alan because he's an associate, not a pal.
So, heat number 6 now at the tapes. Riding off the inside gate in red for Leicester is Max Frick. Gate 2 in white is Chris Holder. Gate 3 in blue, Richard Lawson will be hoping to have sorted his machinery problems out. And off the outside in yellow, Jason Edwards.
But it is, and Jason Edwards will be looking to have a better ride out this time round. Big shout out to BSN for putting their mistakes correct. Unfortunately, I can't do that anymore. Because my mistakes are normally my exes, so shout out to my exes if you're watching.
Oh, God.
Trust me, that's what I feel like when I see them. So welcome to Shoot Some Shale, powered by D&D Media, where we just have a chin wag, watch a bit of Speedway, and try and entertain you, lovely people.
All 2.
All 2 of you. This is peak, and this is still 2 more viewers than ex-podcast of ours would have got. So who's really winning at life?
All of these views are Palmer's, by the way, not shared by D&D Media.
So the tapes have risen then on heat number 6. It's a quality start there from Max Frick in the red helmet colour with Lawson now blasting his way up to second place. But Chris Holder there riding a really good race there to solidify the second place for him, and he's got to go on the chase now for Max Frick. Although I do feel as though Max Frick's now just going to check off goal, get himself a double cheeseburger, and he'll still win this one. Richard Lawson's chasing down Chris Holder at the moment. Jason Edwards yet again unfortunately struggling. This is where Sheffield ideally need to make a change, and you know, there's plenty of riders that would jump at the chance of being a Premiership reserve, and as much as we love Jason, he is struggling a little bit in this league. But this one, it's a little bit spread out now. It's like jam on toast. It's very well spread, and Max Frick, he's got this one in the bag. He even pulls a little wheelie for us. What an absolute G. So Max Frick goes round to take his second race win of the afternoon.
I thought that was going to end in tears between the 2 Sheffield riders on that second turn.
I mean, it probably has. Jason Edwards might not have a smile under his helmet.
I mean, you can almost forgive that one. It is a tough lineup, but... And he wasn't exactly tailed off. So the results of heat number 6, it was a win for the rider in red, Max Frick. Second in white, Chris Holder. And third in blue, Richard Lawson. Just opens up the gap to 4 points again now. Leicester 20, Sheffield 16. What a year that was, because it was the year Wolves won the league.
Never forget. Was that the year Freddie and Craig Cook had that little scrap?
It was.
Good times, but yeah, that was a quality start there from Max Frick, and there was no stopping him really. There was there? He's like a rocket round here.
And the 2 minutes are on for heat number 7. They're really trying to get through this one tonight. There is rain forecast around the Midlands area a little bit later, so maybe that's why they're trying to get this done.
I mean, if it's any consolation, it has just this second stopped raining in Scunny, which is basically near the Midlands.
So the lineup for heat number 7, going off the inside gate in white, is Josh Pickering. Gate 2 in red, Ryan Douglas. Gate 3 in yellow, Carl Howarth. And off the outside in blue is Craig Cook. Cook is very close to gate 3 there, but Start Marshall seems happy with it. Pico had speed last time out, just couldn't pass Sam Masters. Carl Howarth was a really good winner of his second ride, and Dougie second place after lifting and almost murdering his teammate in his first one.
The last 2 Scunny number 1s next to each other in this one.
And now both previous as well, with Michael Palmtoft taking over at number 1 tomorrow.
Big up Tofty. I never thought I'd see the day Tofty was a championship number 1 again, but here we are. If you are planning to come to Spunny versus Glasgow tomorrow, please do. And if you're not, A, why not? And B, make sure you're watching it on BSN. And if you've got naff all else to do both.
Pico asking the BSN cameraman to move back from the start, which he's more than entitled to do.
The wind there is pushing the tapes a little bit there, but the tapes have risen and it's a decent start there for Pico. But Ryan Douglas blasts himself around the outside to the front, and Pico's now putting in a challenge on Dougie Craig Cook there in the third place position. But Pico going around the outside of Dougie. Can he make a move? Not quite just yet, as Dougie just shuts the door on him. Kyle Howarth towards the back of the field here, uncharacteristic here from Kyle the King himself. But Dougie proving why he is the new master of the Leicester circuit, being chased all the way by Pico. Pico's obviously not going to give up, and Kyle not giving up at the back either. But Dougie looking very, very smooth, very, very stylish out in front. Pico going wide. If he goes any wider, he'll end up in somewhere like Rotherham. I don't know where's near Leicester. This is going to be a very, very solid tips to flag ride here from Dougie, with Pico in second, and Cook just gets third over Kyle, and that is why Kyle Howarth is no longer my number one.
I really like that camera angle with on the bends where you've got Pico just coming at you sideways.
It's nice, isn't it?
It is. So the result of heat number 7, it was a win for the rider in red, Ryan Douglas, second in white, Josh Pickering, and crucially third in blue, Craig Cook. Crucially for both teams actually, because that now puts Sheffield 6 down and in tactical territory.
Yeah, you know, that was a solid gate there from Dougie, and Chris Alder, really, not Chris Alder, Josh Pickering made a very decent gate, but by the time they got to bend number 1, Dougie was out there and gone, and he was checked out. He couldn't quite get an hot dog though, otherwise Pico would have been through there, but I think Cookie could have gone and got himself a hot dog and still walked round and got 1 point there. As Mr. Hodgetts is doing some tippity-typity on his computer.
Filling in the programme for Kings Lynn, but first of all we'll cross back to you at Oxford and have an update.
Let me have a look then for you, because obviously last time we had an update here. We have had 1 heat and now we've had 4. The current score at the moment is the Oxford Spires 10, Ipswich Witches 14. Scott Nichols and Dan Thompson taking a 4-2 for the Witches in heat number 1. Eric Riss wins a shared heat number 2 for Oxford. Danny King wins a shared heat number 3 for Ipswich, and to the surprise of nobody, Emil Seifutinov wins heat number 4, with Jordan Jenkins coming third as a 4-2 for the Witches, making it 10-14.
After 4 heats at Kings Lynn, it is the Kings Lynn Stars 15, Brummies 9. Heat 2 was won by Patrick Washterlow in red, Piotr Pavlicki in second, and Anders Rowe third. Leon Flint retired from the heat. Heat number 3 was won by the rider in white, Justin Sedgman, with Ben Cook in second and Niels Christian Everson third. And heat number 4 was won by Strawberry Jam himself, Jan Kvek, second in white, Tom Brennan, and third in blue, Anders Rowe, with Leon Flint failing to score from 2 rides. Oh dear. Brummies have got more holes than a golf course. Oh, and the rider replacement in heat 5 for the Brummies is Piotr Pavlicki.
Big up Piotr.
Should we have a look for the individual scorers after... how many heats have we had here? 7. Do you want to run us through the scores at the minute?
Right, apologies if my mathematics isn't correct. If I had a 50p every time I failed my maths exam, I would have £9.40. So, for the Leicester Lions on 24 points at the moment. Max Frick on a maximum 6 points, Richard Lawson on 2, Sam Masters on 5, with Becker failed to score, Ryan Douglas on 5, Craig Cook 3 and a bonus, Sam Hagan on 3. So Jack Alder, ride replacement. Ride replacement at the moment has scored 4 points. Troy Batchelor 1 plus 1. Josh Pickering 5. Kyle Howarth 5. Chris Holder 5. Jason Edwards failed to score, and Dan Julf on 2.
Why on earth has Max Frick got a beanie on? I know it's a little bit nippy for the time of year, but come on, it's July. You don't need a beanie in this weather, man.
He's an Aussie, and it might be a little bit cold for him. He's used to 40 plus degree heat.
Blimey.
That, or his barber is giving him a really, really, really bad haircut, and it can't be shown on TV.
That's very true.
I would ask a certain somebody, but I'd never hear the end of it.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Oh my god. Pico with a smile on his face.
You know, I've got a lot of time for Pico. He had an interview at Scunny on Friday, and he said he was pleased to see a good crowd in, and he said Scunny is a really, really good racetrack, and that he really enjoys coming here. So
Don't tell Robbo that, for Christ's sake.
I've got a lot of time for him.
Gate stats at the minute: Gate 4 is proving fruitful with 3 wins, and Gate 2 with 2. Gates 1 and 3 both 1 apiece, so the outside gates are favourable at the minute, 2 and 4.
It tends to be the case at Leicester, to be fair. Your outside gates are normally the better gates.
Track is starting to come good now.
Don't say that. This is Leicester.
Okay, it's better than it started.
That'll do. But yeah. Oh, that is a nice water truck. That. I wish we could have a truck like that for water.
We got one like that. They just flood the track with it though.
Here it comes.
Look at that. Just having a quick look at the BSN schedule, Palmer.
So tomorrow evening, obviously the main meeting everybody wants to see, Scunthorpe versus Glasgow, which is going to be a massive, massive home win. Then on Monday, the BSN team go to Dillon's Land in Birmingham as the Brummies take on the Oxford Spires. Then next Sunday, which was a week this Sunday, is our next watch along the Ben Fund Bonanza, and then the Friday after that, so 2 weeks tomorrow, they go to Edinburgh for Edinburgh versus Workington. Then the Friday after, they're back at Edinburgh, so ESN as Edinburgh take on Berwick, and then I don't think that's meant to say Thursday, but the day after, Saturday the 27th of June, they are at Workington versus Poole, and that will be an absolute classic.
And as Palmer says, next Sunday our last watch along for around about a month, as Luke Becker's bike is completely stripped to pieces there. That's going in the skip.
That's more stripped than a lady in a naughty club, that.
You'd know.
Don't know what you're on about.
Oh my Christ.
But yeah. The sun's out. The track looks like it's got a little bit of shale on it. Well, we've got a minute while we're waiting for the best race of tractor racing to finish. I'll have a quick look at Oxford. And oh my. Oh my.
Lions and tigers and bears.
The Oxford Spires have just got a 5-1 in heat number 5, with Charles Wright taking the race win. He's not had many of them around Oxford this year. Magic Janoski second, and Scott Nichols in third. It's 15 all at Oxford.
Heat 5 from Kings Lynn was a big 5-1 to Kings Lynn, with Ben Cook taking the flag, Niels Christian Everson in second, and Piotr Pavlicki third. Steve Worrell still on 0, and at this point I'm saying Steve Worrell out. Or maybe he already is, and that's why he's embarrassing himself.
Maybe they've done the deal with Jakob Forsell without telling anybody.
Yeah, I wouldn't count your chickens on that one, but we can't say anything on Facebook about Stevie Worrell's performance because of a certain fan who thinks the sun shines out of certain riders' rear ends. We'll get very offended. So back here, heat number 8, the lineup going off the inside gate in yellow is Dan Gilks, gate 2 in blue Sam Hagan, gate 3 in white is Troy Batchelor, and off the outside in red is Richard Lawson.
But it is.
Sam Hagan, the highest scoring rider in this race before this heat starts. It's madness. And it could have been more if he hadn't have nearly got murdered by Dougie after nearly murdering Dougie in the last one.
If a certain person sees this, he'll be calling for the track to be closed because of hard fair racing.
Oh, Robbo.
We all know who we're on about.
Pity he didn't drown on his artificial water last week, innit?
Artificial. He calls out with more crap than I do.
He's something, isn't he? He's had a few two knocks to the bonds.
I mean, I don't mind giving him another knock to the head.
With a frying pan.
Oh, that's just a starting knock. So, heat number 8 and away we go. The tapes has risen. It's a fairly even start, but it is Sam Hagan and Dan Juxat get the lead over Richard Lawson and Troy Batchelor, but Richard Lawson with a really nice dive bomb up the inside there to take the lead, and now Troy Batchelor in the second position. Juxie there in third place, beat Sam Hagan, struggling towards the rear of this one. Richard Lawson, he's out there. He can go check out for an hot dog. I don't think he's going to have any issues at all now. And Juxie's out there in the second position. And the Sheffield boys pretty much racing each other now for the extra 25 pence points money or whatever it is Sheffield pay. Sam Hagan still battling towards the rear of the field, but probably inexperience of the Leicester track not doing him any favours at the moment with one lap left to go. Richard Lawson out in front. I'm surprised he hasn't got off and gone for a triple cheeseburger or something like that, because he's massively checked out. And Juxie there in second, and Troy Batchelor just about getting the third place there, and Sam Hagan struggled a little bit there.
Sam made the perfect start and did exactly what he did in the last one. Went way too wide and he was last down the back straight. You'd think he'd have learned from Heat 4. There's a wide line, but it's not that bloody wide.
Oh, yeah.
Is that a car door?
Yes.
Oh, blimey. So, the result of heat number 8, when it comes up, it was a win for the rider in red, Richard Lawson. Second in white on the line was Troy Batchelor, and third in yellow, Dan Gilks. Keeps the score at 27-21. With 6 points difference, and I would not be surprised to see a tactical substitute coming in the near future for Sheffield. Sam makes a beautiful gate here, and he just goes straight. He tries to get back in the pits. What is he doing?
He wanted to go to Mackey's.
It's in the other direction.
But I don't really know what happened to Sam there. Maybe. His wheel picked up a little bit too much grip, and he just went out a tad wide. But heat number 9 is coming to the tapes now as we speak.
The lineup for Heat 9, going off the inside gate in white is Chris Holder. Gate 2 in blue will be hoping to get more than 2 yards off the line. This time is Luke Becker. Gate 3 in yellow, Jason Edwards. And off the outside in red is Sam Masters. Luke Becker has swapped bikes. Rumour has it the other one's round the back on fire.
Send it down to Plymouth. It might help them dry the track out.
Luke's had 2 starts and he hasn't even made the first turn. Is it going to be third time lucky?
You'd like to hope so, wouldn't you?
I've got a lot of time for Luke. He's a nice fella.
And obviously, he will be in the Speedway of Nations next week at Manchester. If you go in, you have my sincere condolences. So does your bank balance as the tapes has risen for heat number 9. And I'm pleased to tell you, Luke Becker's got to the first corner and he's down the back straight. And he's actually leading, so he's going to have some money in the bank very, very soon. But the big battle is second place with Sam Masters currently holding the second place position. But Chris Holder's not giving up. Chris Holder now coming up the inside there of Sam Masters. Oh, this is brilliant stuff, this from Leicester. Can they have racing like this every week? Probably not. That's asking a little bit too much. But Luke Becker currently has the lead then with Sam Masters currently still battling it out with Chris Holder. Chris Holder made a right nice move there at the inside, but the line at the minute is just on the outside where they're just back wheels just in the dirt there. And it's ever so close now between these two. But a great ride this from Luke Becker. But Holder is second now. What a ride from Sam Masters to get himself back into second position. Wow, this is the best race I think they've ever had at Leicester. And that's the 5-1.
That was the score doesn't tell the story there, because that was fantastic. Chris Holder had real speed come up the inside of Masters, so Masters just cuts back underneath him. And it's amazing what happens when Becker can make it to the first turn. So the result of heat number 9, it was a win for the rider in blue, Luke Becker. Second in red, Sam Masters. And third in white, Chris Holder. And that opens up the gap to 10 points at 32 points to 22.
Now, I know you're not quite Simon Stead because I haven't ever seen you with a really, really shiny watch.
Thanks.
Is this the sort of time where you think about putting in a tactical? You know, I mean, obviously Max Frick's on a maximum at the moment, but 10 points down, he's got to start thinking where does he put a tactical in.
I don't think, like me and Cal said last night, a tactical when you're this far, but it won't make a difference. Even if they get a 5-1, they're still 6 down. I think it's too late. I think the opportunity's gone.
Yeah, it's hard to really disagree there, sir.
You don't want to be playing a tactical when you're 10 down, so even with a 5-1, you're only pulling back 4 points. You know, you're still 6 down, and 5-1 back to them in the next one, it's 10 again.
Oh, 100%.
That was a beautiful cutback from Sam there.
Oh, wasn't it just? It was almost as beautiful as me. when I look in the mirror after I've had a couple of Stellas.
Yeah. So the lineup for heat number 10, going off the inside gate in yellow, is Carl Heworth. Gate 2 in blue, Richard Lawson. Gate 3 in white is Josh Pickering. And off the outside in red is Max Frick. Still on a maximum. Leicester on the favourite gates, and it could soon be a 14-point lead for Leicester in about a minute's time.
I mean, there's every chance it could be. Well, it might not be, as obviously we saw what happened to Richard Lawson in the opening heat.
Looks like a decent crowd as well.
To be fair, right, if Leicester's done one thing right, it is their advertising around the city or town or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, like as soon as you get into Leicester, there's a sign that says Speedway this way, and it's well directed, it's well advertised. So fair play to Leicester for doing that. But the tapes then, they rise for heat number 10, and it's a great start there from Richard Lawson himself. And what is Kyle Howarth doing there? Can I open my eyes yet to commentate on the rest of the race? But yeah, Richard Lawson then currently has the lead with Max Frick just about to storm up the inside there of Josh Pickering. No, we don't, because Pickering just still has it. Now Max is in the second position. But Pico now looking to go up the inside there of Max Frick. Not going to work now, but Richard Lawson, he could, barring any mechanical failure, he could check out and he can go get some chips or something. He looks like a very hungry man, so chips would be my recommendation, Richard, if you're watching. Max Frick there sitting pretty there in the second position, riding Richard home here for the all important 5-1, which is going to lead them to a now 14-point lead.
I've just got visions in my head now of Richard Lawson with his wireless earbuds in, listening to us commentate as he rides. You know, if you're watching.
Yeah. If you're watching, mate. If you're watching, mate, go and have some chips.
And this was something Leicester did well last season. It was Sedgwick last season, but they've always got a really good number 2 that can go and win races ahead of Frick if needs be.
Yeah, Max just let Richard check out there, and he did the majority of the racing with Pico. So what on earth was Kyle doing there, though?
The result of Heat 10, it was a win for the rider in blue, Richard Lawson. Second in red, Max Frick. And third in white, Josh Pickering. As Palmer said, 14-point lead. Now it's 37 points to 23.
But yeah, Richard Lawson made the perfect gate there, and he was gone, and I think Kyle just locked up and got well out of shape, to be fair. I have come to like Kyle a lot, to be fair, this season. He is a bit of a likeable lad when you get to speak to him.
Yeah, he's a nice fella, is Kyle.
And to be fair, I've got a lot of time for Pico as well. Obviously, our differences on Pico are very, very different.
I don't mind Pico. I've just seen a different side to him at Brum when him and the other Pitgate fella were giving each other a bit of lip. Not my issue, so I weren't involved in that. Just stand there and let them get on with it. But in racing mode, you may see a different side to people with the adrenaline and stuff. It's hard for us just standing there watching to quite, comprehend it.
Lassie Fredrickson.
Yeah. So Heat number 11, taking the rider replacement, riding white is Chris Holder. Going off the inside gate in red is Ryan Douglas. Gate 2 in white is the rider replacement Chris Holder. Gate 3 in blue is Craig Cook. And off the outside in yellow, Troy Batchelor. Can the Aussie duo for the Tigers do anything here?
Probably not.
At least you're honest.
Well, as our posted, I've got away with words, and I'd like to think I'm trying to make this meeting a bit more entertaining for the both of us.
It has been good, to be honest.
It's been pretty cool, hasn't it?
It hasn't been bad.
Yeah, the start marshal then walks away for heat number 11, and it's a solid start there for the Aussies of Sheffield Tigers. What is Dougie doing there? But this has now got the Sheffield Tigers on a 5-1 with Troy Batchelor currently in the lead, Chris Holder there in the second place position. Craig Cook in third. Dougie's left it all to do himself now, and Leicester are trapped. Not brilliant for passing, and I think the Sheffield Tigers can now just go check out and get a hot dog. But Dougie's found his way into third place, but Batch still out in front with the lead. Don't quite know where he's found this from. He don't normally like to win races for Sheffield, does Batch. Chris Holder there, though, sitting in the second position. Almost team riding Batch home here at the moment with Dougie. He's not a million miles behind in third, but I think it's too little too late for him to really spark a challenge on the two Sheffield boys here out in front. And yeah, it's going to be a win for Troy Batchelor, and he celebrates with a wheelie. It wasn't wheelie good though.
Now might be a good time to say that Troy Batchelor moved at the start there. And it wasn't even, it was blatant.
Who's the referee for this one, do you know?
Pass. Get on to
Well,
old updates and find out.
Pass should have seen that one.
Heat 11, it was a win for the rider in yellow, Troy Batchelor. Second in white, Chris Holder. And third in red, Ryan Douglas. 5-1 narrows the gap back down to 10 at 38-28. Batch definitely moves.
I couldn't tell you because I'm still looking to see who the referee is.
What on earth was Dougie doing there? He called that patch in the first turn, didn't he?
It's caught a lot of riders out tonight, hasn't it?
Yeah. The extra dirt that they've put on the track seems to be working well, though. It's at least offering, well,
What's
something.
dirt? Can we have something that's funny? Referee here tonight is Simon Humphrey Kennett.
At least it's not Gary Allen.
Yeah. Yeah, what you said.
Well, we've got a minute. Shall we get a quick update from you at Oxford?
So, I left you after 5 heats at 15 all. Heat number 6 was a 2-4 with Emos Ifutinov and Keenan Rue taking the 4-2 to the Witches, making it 17-19. And then in heat number 7, Chris Harrison, Eric Risk getting a 5-1 over Adam Ellis and Danny King to make it 22 points to 20.
Heat 6 at Kings Lynn was won by Ben Basso. Second in white was Tom Brennan, and third in red Ben Cook. Piotr Pavlicki fell. And heat number 7 was won again by Strawberry Jam, Yank Vek, with Victor Lampart in second and Patrick Washington in third to make the scores 28-14 after 7. And Birmingham's heat 8 pairing have scored a big total of 0 points between them so far.
Big score then.
Oh yeah, fantastic. Looks like Steady's going to play a tactical here with Steve Brandon talking to him in the pits.
Maybe he just wanted a chin wag with a microphone.
Who's the lineup in this one?
Currently it's Sam Masters and Sam Hagan versus Josh Pickering and Jason Edwards. So I could see them
Chris
bringing
Holder,
Chris Holder in. Chris for Jason, because no disrespect to Jason, we both love him a bit. He hasn't scored from his 3 outings. He may as well get himself changed and get himself to Mackey's.
And he has been thrust into a difficult position because he is still technically a rising star. We saw it. We've spoke about this before, but we saw it in 2022 with Drew Kemp as the rising star for Wolves, but it was number 6, and it's a difficult position to move into. So I think Jason would have maybe benefited more going to a team as the rising star for this season rather than, jumping up to number 6.
Yeah, 100%. It's obviously going to be massively tough for Jason. He would have been better almost in a different team where 99% of the time it would have been a rising star. Obviously in this Sheffield team, you've effectively got 2 rising stars, and they could do with a rider like Simon Lambert or Ben Barker or somebody of that kind of calibre that could give him a big push at reserve. And Sheffield legend Connor Mountain is available. Sheffield, if you're listening. Sam Masters currently being interviewed by Mr. Roynan.
Is this a good chance for us to take 5 minutes whilst they have an interval?
I think it's a good chance to take 5 minutes. welcome back. We really needed that little break as we had a little bit of a moan about life.
The lineup for heat number 12 sees Chris Alders as a tactical substitute riding yellow. Sam Masters goes off the inside gate in red. Chris Holder, tactical substitute in gate 2 in yellow. Gate 3 in blue is Sam Hagan, and off the outside in white, Josh Pickering. Sheffield on the favoured gates here by some distance as well. 1 and 3 have only had 2 wins between them.
And poor Sammy Hagan here is the only one in this lot that's actually ginger.
And English.
Poor lad.
Brexit means Brexit and all that.
Yes. So riders just coming up to tapes then for heat number 12. So start Marshall and he walks away. The riders look at the tapes and the tapes rise. And Chris Alders made an absolutely electric start there in the yellow helmet colour, and he has the lead. And Pico now up the inside of Sam Masters. What a ride for Pico, but Masters still just about holds a second place. We've got a race on our hands here, and we're not even done with the first lap. So now Chris Alders trying to slow Sam Masters down to allow Josh Pickering round the outside of him. Has it worked? Not quite, as Sam Masters holds a really, really good defensive line here over Pico, but Pico goes wide again. It's not quite worked. Pico needs to think about cutting up to use the inside round here, and just like that he does. It don't really work out for him though. So no, what I said, Josh, if you're listening to us. But Chris Holder out in front, looking really classy, really stylish, as you would expect from a former world champion. Pico not giving up the ghost on Sam Masters here, but it's hard to see Pico getting past now over the last couple of corners. He's going quite wide. He looks faster than Sam Masters here, but close but no cigar.
Chris Holder, when he's riding like this, is absolutely stunning to watch.
He is.
Yeah, he looked comfortable out front. He was slowing up Sam to try and get Pico through. He was playing the team game. It was the perfect ride from Chris. And the result of heat number 12, it was a win for the tactical substitute in yellow, Chris Holder. Second in red, Sam Masters, and third in white, Josh Pickering. Closes the gap to 8 points now, with a big heat 13 to come, and there'll be just a couple of minutes whilst Chris Holder has a second ride on the bounce.
I mean, if we're being really technical, the third.
Yeah, it's true, yeah. But there has been an interval between the first and second one of those.
Yeah, we'll let him off. He's had a lengthy break.
Well, we've got a minute. Do you want to catch us up on what's going on at Oxford since we last looked?
Oh, let's have a look then. I can't remember what heat it was since I
want to say it was 8 that we were on.
So we've now had 10 heats. And Jesus Christ, I pushed my fingers into my eyes. After 10 heats, Oxford 34, Ipswich 26, and you know you're a bit crap, Mr. Adam Ellis and Danny King, when Ashton Bowden wins a 5-1 over you guys. Any update from the Lynn of Kings?
It's been one more race since we last looked. Heat number 8 was won by the rider in red, Benjamin Basso. Second in white, Steve Worrell, and third in yellow, Leon Flint, for a shared heat. And that made the scores after 8 races 31-17. And there's been nothing yet. There was a delay for the Sun. We're on heat 9, which is expected to line up with Ben Cook, Niels Christian Everson, Tom Brennan and Piotr Pavlicki, but I wouldn't be surprised to see maybe Justin Sedgman take a tactical ride in place of Pavlicki there.
As long as the Brum team know what the clutch cooler does, then Sam Ermolenko will think he's done his job.
And just like that, the riders are coming round for heat number 13. This is going very quick, or the ones we're covering are going very slow.
Who do Leicester think they are? Scunny?
Yeah. That voice message I sent to our mutual friend has been responded to with a laughing emoji.
Oh, that one that I found quite funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we all know if a Scunthorpe rider was like that, I would be saying the exact same kind of message.
Steve Brandon standing right in the way of where Chris Holder's bike's about to be wheeled out. Chris Holder breaking the rule of no riding in the pits, but sod it.
Rules are made to be broken. It serves.
He's got 52 seconds to be at tapes and ready to go. So if I was Stuart Dixon, I'd quickly park the tractor on the exit of the track.
It serves Steve Brandon right for being in the way. And
He's got the wrong helmet. Chris Holder's not yellow. Chris Holder's not got yellow, he's got white.
Oh, the silly sausage.
Oh my god. He's going to run out of time. And now he's left the track as well.
You are allowed to leave the track now.
It's a bit of a safety issue though, isn't it?
Don't get in the way.
16 seconds to get back, and he will get back, but
he's going to be pushing it.
Yeah, questions to be asked. So the lineup for heat number 13, riding off the inside gate in white, the rider replacement Troy Batchelor. Gate 2 in red is Max Frick. Gate 3 in yellow, Chris Holder. And off the outside in blue is Ryan Douglas.
So the tapes has risen in, and it's a very, very good start once again by Max Frick with the two Tigers. They're sitting in second and third with Dougie now looking to come to the inside of Chris Holder. Does it nicely. Now can he do the job on Troy Batchelor? Not just yet at the moment. And Chris Holder going from hero to zero here for Sheffield with Max Frick. He's checked out, he's gone, he can go to pole and get a hot dog, come back, and he'd still win this race. He's that far out in front, but Troy Batchelor riding a really solid race here in second. Now Chris Holder coming back up the inside there of Ryan Douglas. Douglas repaying the compliment now. Can Chris Holder repay the compliment that he's just paid Dougie? That's just been repaid back. Not quite as Dougie now is getting ever closer to Troy Batchelor now in the second place position. But Chris Holder also not in the mix. You could throw a blanket over the three riders in second, third and fourth. So we've got one lot left to go then. Max Frick, he's checked out. He wants a Polish hot dog. He could have a mechanical breakdown and he'd still win this one. Batchelor riding a really good race here to maintain the second position. Yes, he does just. Fair play to Troy Batchelor.
Dougie was all over him then, was quicker and all of that, but just couldn't get through. Batch, smart ride there. Done himself no harm at all with this performance, and I certainly hope another Midlands club are looking at this and thinking we'll take a punt.
Yeah, it's fit right in for Luke Becker.
Nah, not quite the team I had in mind. So, heat number 13, it was a win for the rider in red, Max Frick. Second in white was Troy Batchelor, and third in blue, Ryan Douglas. And that opens up the 10-point gap again. Batch had a nibble at the start again.
Yeah, it seems to be the thing that's bringing him a bit of success, like, isn't it?
I noticed this at Birmingham last year. The other week when he was there with Ipswich, and I said this, but apparently it's something to do with the clutch thing he uses, where it looks like he moves and he doesn't, but he just go. I didn't understand it, but I just think he keeps moving. To be honest.
Don't stop moving. He maybe listens to a bit of S Club 7. He puts his headphones in before he bangs his helmet on. Right, Don't Stop Moving by S Club 7. He thinks it applies to the tapes as well.
Yeah, that's true. It's going from bad to
know
worse.
Did you know Dan Jokes' initials is DG?
Not a clue. So, heat number 14, going off the inside gate in blue, is Craig Cook. Gate 2 in white is Carl Heworth. Gate 3 in red, coming out for his second actual ride of the night, because his bike died, is Luke Becker. And off the outside in yellow, Dan Jilks. Becker could go engine failure, win, win.
It could go engine failure, win, engine failure as well.
He could.
Plus adding 2 and 1 in there just to be politically correct.
You'd have to favour Becker with how quick he looked last time out, Kyle Howarth had that one good race, but has not looked overly impressive since.
No, and being a Scunthorpe Supremo for the time being, that's a little bit concerning.
Tis, isn't it?
It's alright. I'll be a burger van owner in Teesside one day. So, the start battle that walks away for heat number 14. The tapes rise, away we go. And it's a good start actually there for the run in blue. Craig Cook, Luke Becker's there, he joined him out in front for a 5-1. But Kyle Howarth up the inside there of Luke Becker, and now he's trying to go up the inside of Craig Cook. Not quite worked out just yet. Was now Luke Becker looking to come back up the inside of Kyle Howarth. He's done that nicely. A very good ride there from Luke Becker. Now, what could Kyle Howarth do? Could he make any charge to the Leicester Lions? But I think Luke Becker can go and get a hot dog and just check out. He's virtually won this one barring any form of mechanical failure. This will be a massive confidence boosted ride here as well for Craig Cook. And Stuart Dixon obviously mentioned before the meeting, this is a must-win meeting for the Lions against the depleted Sheffield Tigers, and this race will just solidify that win for them. And as Mr. Dillon predicted, he goes retired, win.
And that was a really good ride for Craig Cook, like you say there. I do think he and Becker maybe got in each other's way a little bit in the first couple of laps. Then Becker got in front and just cleared off, left Craig to ride his own race, and that was all she wrote. And that's the win, if it was ever in doubt, wrapped up on the night.
Yeah, what you said, yeah.
So the result of heat number 14, it was a win for the rider in red, Luke Becker, second in blue, Craig Cook, and third in white, Kyle Howarth, makes the progressive score 49-35 with one heat to go. Shall we have a quick update from Oxford, Mush?
Oh, let's have a look then. Refreshed. So, after heat 10, we have had heat 11. And it was a 5-1-2 Ipswich, with them replacing Dan Thomas with Emil Seifutin off. And Emil Seifutin off, and Scott Nichols getting the 5-1 there over Eric Riss and Chris Harris, who finished last. And they're currently having an interval at Ipswich. And if you're into your Oxford, sorry, and if you are into your statistics, Gates 1 and 3 has scored 45 points there. Gates 2 and 4 has scored 21.
There's been two races since we last looked at Kings Lynn. Heat number 9 was won by the rider in red, Ben Cook. Second in white, Tom Brennan, and third in blue, Niels Christian Everson, with Piotr Pawlicki at the back. And heat number 10, the rider replacement in red was Niels Christian Everson, who won the race, backed up in second by his partner Ben Basso, and third in white, Justin Sedgman. Moves the progressive scores after 10 heats to Kings Lynn 40, Birmingham 20.
Go on, Trotchy.
So it's just a wee bit embarrassing if you're a Brummie, this.
I think my my slight prediction's gone out the window for that one.
Just a bit.
But yeah. To be fair, this meet has been decent.
It's come good after the first 400%.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has been a good meeting. Do you want to quickly run through the individual scorers as you've got them down before we go on to 15 lineup? But the Gates massively in favour of 2 and 4, 5 wins from 4, 6 from 2, 2 from 3, and 1 from 1.
So the individual scorers so far, Max Frick is on 11+1 paid maximum. Richard Watson on 8, Sam Masters 9 and a bonus, Luke Becker 6, Ryan Douglas 7, Craig Cook 5 and 2, Sam Hagan 3. For Sheffield, Troy Batchelor 2 for 8 and 1, Josh Pickering 7, Kyle Howarth 6, Chris Holder 3, 6, 11 and 1, Jason Edwards 0, Dan Jokes 3 plus 1.
Steady looks remarkably happy for a man who's been battered by 14 points. He was just smiling. Even when things are going well, he don't smile. Or did he just have trap wind? Could have been that.
Maybe Rolex has emailed him saying we're going to give you a free watch because you like to advertise our watches. But yeah, he looks a little bit too happy, and it is very concerning. What?
What a guy.
And he'll just be saying how much he likes Iron Brew.
Phil McGlynn's sending a load of pictures of Becca from this to the USA chat. It's always good when you've got a photographer, a track on tap.
Good morning, USA. Yeah,
come on, Stuart.
Look, mate, they sell haggis and black pudding and iron brew and shortbread at Morrison's. You can go there in half an hour when the meeting's finished.
Come on, English rubbish line, let us get back to the race. Cookie does not look happy. A couple of Cumbrians talking. You need bloody subtitles for this.
Hey up, Mara. Something, Mara. Alright, Mara. Yeah, I wasn't very good today, Mara.
Couple more Maras, just as running ends. See ya! And that's that. Oh, God. It is good to see Cookies put the struggles of last season behind him.
Yeah, you know, obviously I went to Workington a couple of weeks ago and he was absolutely flying and he looked like he was enjoying himself.
So 15's at the tapes. We can see there Max Frick is in red and Sam Masters is in blue. And it's Chris Holder white, Troy Batchelor yellow, and Sheffield are off 2 and 4. So going off the inside gate in red is Max Frick on 11 plus 1. Chris Holder goes off gate 2 in white, also on 11 plus 1. Sam Masters goes off gate 3 in blue on 9 plus 1. And off the outside in yellow is Troy Batchelor on 8 plus 1. Plenty of bonus points here.
I wouldn't like to be the person paying them. But, yeah, you know, 50 odd seconds until we see the last 4 laps of this meeting. Don't forget, if you are a BSN subscriber, they are covering the Scunthorpe versus Glasgow meeting tomorrow, so you don't have to listen to not so knowledgeable guys talking about the action. You can listen to a bit more knowledgeable but not so knowledgeable guys talking you through the action there.
But we're better than the BSN ones.
BSN can't afford as much.
Use the money that they used to pay the pie man.
Well, you know, that would be the sensible option, but we'll see what happens for the future as Heat 15 is go, and it's a very, very good start there for Max Frick and Chris Holder. There is Max Frick just sticks his back wheel in the dirt there. He's got out for the league. Sam Masters now joins in for second, and this is going to be a 5-1 at the moment for the Leicester Lions. The two Sheffield Tigers Aussies, though, they're battling away at Sam Masters here. As Chris Holder goes wide and Sam Masters just chops his nose off there just nicely. Now Holder tries around the outside once again, and he's got speed as Holder. He looks a little bit faster than Sam Masters, and now Holder up the inside there of Sam Masters. He's done him nicely there. Nice move there from Chris Holder. Now what can Sam Masters do? Can Sam Masters repay that compliment, or will Chris try and slow that slow the Leicester Aussie down for Troy Batchelor? Now Sam Masters looks over his shoulder for Batchelor, and he sees that he's right there, and Batchelor now looks to run the outside. It's not quite worked out, but Maxrick can go out. He can go get a hamburger, and he's checked out, and well, was enjoying that one so much we've only just realised he won that one.
Batch was fuming then. He looked quick. Good ride by Chris Holder to get around Sam, and then Sam started looking backwards rather than forwards. I think Batch can be happy with his night overall, coming in to do a guest job, and he's done all right. So the result of Heat 15, it was a win for the rider in red, Max Freak. Second in white was Chris Holder, and third in blue, Sam Masters. Final score, is this what you predicted, Palmer? 53-37?
I think it was close to that, yeah.
I think it was that. Or was that another meeting?
I'll take it. I predicted a 42-48 at Oxford and 45-45 at Lynn, so I think this might have been... Yeah, I think it is. You couldn't mention it. I'll take it. It's basically a win.
Should have put money on it.
I ain't got any to put on.
It's true. It's true.
I tell you what, though, I do not envy Chris Holder at the minute. That poor guy must be absolutely cream crackered. He's done 7 rides tonight. And I hope with that big pay packet he's able to get his little boy a nice little revy bike.
Any updates from the Ox of Ford?
I've just had a look, we're still having their interval.
Oh, blimey.
I'll just work the individual scorers out from this one, and I'll give them to our lovely audience.
We've had a couple of heats from Kings Lynn in this time. Heat number 11, it was a win for the rider in red, Yankovic. Second in yellow was Steve Worrell, and third in blue, Patrick Wojtlow. Rider replacement for the Brummies was Tom Brennan, who retired. And heat number 12, it was a win for the rider in red, Ben Cook. Second in yellow, Piotr Pavlicki, and third in white, Justin Sedgman. On to heat 13 now. The rider replacement in red for the Stars is Benjamin Basso, and the rider replacement in white for the Brummies is Steve Worrell.
So individual scorers then here from the Belmont Park Arena. Max Rick 14 plus 1 paid maximum for Max. Richard Lawson 8, Sam Masters 10 plus 1, Luke Becker 6, Ryan Douglas 7, Craig Cook 5 plus 2, Sam Hagan 3. Troy Batchelor, really impressive 8 plus 1 tonight, second highest scorer for the Tigers. Josh Pickering 7, Kyle Howarth 6, Chris Holder 13 plus 1, Jason Edwards failed to score, and Dan Jilks 3.
We'll keep the feed going until the end of the meetings we're covering.
Let me just refresh the Oxford updates just to see if anything's happened. We've had heat number 12. And heat number 12 was a win for Danny King. Second place was Keir De Brew, and the third place was Magic Yanowski. That was a 5-1 to the Witches. Making the progressive scores now at Oxford 36 points apiece. As Max Frick gets interviewed on BSN.
I can close that now. Should we take a quick minute?
Go on then. And we are back on. That was a nice, well-needed break that we needed there, just to give our voices a rest, as our resident Alan McNally would say.
There's been one heat at Kings Lynn since we were away. Heat 13. The rider replacements in red was Ben Basso, blue Steve Worrell, and the result, it was a win for the rider in blue Strawberry Jam Yankvek. Second in red Ben Basso, and third in white Steve Worrell. Tom Brennan retiring for a second straight heat. Makes the progressive score 52 to Kings Lynn, 26 to Birmingham. And oh crikey, why? Just why? What's the point? Jesus Christ. Tack sub in heat 14. Justin Sedgman replaces Victor Lampard. Because, you know, why not do a tactical substitute when you're 26 points down? You know, all the difference. All the difference. Not saying the Brummies team manager doesn't know what he's doing, but the Brummies team manager doesn't know what he's doing.
Big up the man that believes clutch coolers cool the clutch.
Jesus Christ.
Naturally, Dylan not the happiest of chappies with the results there.
Not the happiest of chappies with the team manager.
Ermolenko out.
Yeah. Ermolenko out.
Well, we've had Heat 13 at Oxford.
Was it better than the one at Kings Lynn?
That'd be much worse, Mush. It was a win.
Thanks.
It was a win for the rider in yellow, Emilsai Footing off. Second was Scott Nichols in white, and third in blue, Chris Harris. That was 1 to Oxford, 5 to Ipswich, where the progressive scores 37 to 41, and Emilsai Footing off is on a 5 ride, 15-point maximum.
With one to go, because he'll no doubt be in 15.
I'd just add sub him in for Jordan Jenkins in Heat 14 as well. I'll just let Emil like pretend to be Jordan, just swap the name on the Kevlars. I think that's a solid idea.
This is what our nights come to.
Yeah, this is just a normal Thursday night for us.
Our penultimate one before our little summer break.
Heat 14, there was a reserve change. Not quite Emil, but for Jordan Jenkins. Stopped, right and Rue down, Ben free, lap 2. That's all it says. Don't know if they're alright. Don't know if anybody's excluded it. Yeah, that's as much as I can tell you. 26 points down. We may as well use the tactical here, boys. If you don't laugh, you'd cry, wouldn't you? You know, I'd do the same at Scunny, or you know, when my nan ends up going red car.
It won't be a laughing matter when no one turns up on Monday for the Oxford meeting. Jesus wept.
I can tell you that there's absolutely 0 people watching.
Ah well.
Oh, there's one, and it's me. Hello.
Bit of rain forecast on Monday at Birmingham. Just, you know, sums up Birmingham's season.
Pretty much, boss.
Could be a bit of a funny
I
one.
hope I do hope the bus thing is well supported.
I hope the meeting's on for your sakes. It's on BSN, isn't it?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I think we'll give it a couple more minutes, and then whether our meetings are done or not, I think we'll just call it a night.
Why the bloody hell have they done that?
What?
Oh. So, the Name Redacted podcast that we cannot mention the name of for legality reasons, they've got an episode coming on tomorrow
Mhm.
reviewing the Melilla GP, which happened 3 weeks ago, and previewing the Gorzoff GP, which
Which
happened
happened a
last.
few days ago.
Yeah, just the mind baffles, doesn't it?
I don't want to slag anyone off. Whatever suits them. I'd assume it was recorded before Gorzoff, but bit of an odd time to release it. I'll
You,
tell you
you do,
something. For the Gorzoff preview, I'm going to predict Freddie Lindgren will win it.
are you really?
I'm going to say that now, and I'm going to go one better. I'm going to predict he falls off when he's doing a wheelie to celebrate.
Anybody think you've time travel to the future for an event that's actually already definitely happened?
Absolutely not. Oh, and if it wasn't strange enough at Kings Lynn, the Brummies have also now made a reserve switch in 14. Piotr Pavlicki replaces Leon Flint because, why not? If you don't laugh, you'd cry. Honestly.
Jesus Christ. I do genuinely feel really sorry for more you more than anybody because you're the only Birmingham fan that I know, and Andy Dugmar obviously. But just the best thing that could happen to Birmingham was a drop back to the Championship.
Can't do it. But Monday nights are better supported than the Championship nights were. Looking at crowd numbers.
I think the thing is, like this. Well, obviously, I think you mentioned something about Collie wanting to run Premiership. Whether it happens or not, obviously, is still to be seen. But you need to confirm as soon as you possibly can, ideally before the AGM, well before the AGM, and then you
A
can
lot,
start
a
like
lot of
signing
Birmingham's future depends on it's always a season by season thing, isn't it? And Tolly makes no secret of that.
It
But
certainly doesn't. His shoes certainly light everything up.
he does he tells you straight up as it is, and yeah, it's one of them. But I'd like to think he's telling the management that something's not right here. Yeah, it's not good.
But see what if anything else has happened at Ford of Ox before we go and see Nigel Farage becoming the new Prime Minister.
Ben,
Keenan Roos been excluded from heat number 14. That's as much as I could tell you.
is that because that's as much as updates is telling you?
Almost like you knew.
Ben Basso's on a 5-ride maximum so far. I'd expect to see him in 15.
Ooh.
Yankovic has only dropped points where the exclusion for the rider replacement he took in Heat 1. In his programmed rides, he's been unbeaten.
Gorge Jovi Jam, absolute hero.
Anders Rowe, I think I'll put a bit of a jinx on him. 2 points for him tonight.
Ginger.
Dear Lord. We'll wait for 15 to come in at Brum so I can do this graphics. I've got to sit here until it does, and then we'll wrap up for the night if Oxford's not done.
Am I alright to escape the BSN screen because it's gone
Yeah,
black?
yeah.
I'll just put updates on.
Yeah, I turned it off about 10 minutes ago, mush.
Would have said right. I've just been sat here staring at a black blank screen.
We've got the lineup for Heat 15. Riding in red for Kings Lynn is Benjamin Basso.
Ooh.
His partner in blue, Yankovic. In white is Tom Brennan, and in yellow is Piotr Pavlicki. And we'll bring the result of that as soon as it comes in. Any other updates from Oxford?
Let's just refresh it. No.
Yeah, we'll sack it off after this one. I'm only keeping this going until I've done the graphic for this one, because I need to.
Yeah.
We don't want to be running any longer than we need to.
No, we don't. If things could hurry up at Oxford, that would be greatly appreciated.
I do know the results of Heat 15, it's just not gone on updates yet, so I don't know who finished where, but I do know it was a 3-all.
At least you hit 30.
Yeah, final score 58-32. Oh, it's still being checked.
Oh.
It was close on the line, apparently.
According to the BSN live stats, it's still 22 points to 20.
Nah, that was a bit of a while ago, that Bush.
There it was. Still no update from heat number 14.
There's not been a 22 points to 20.
Oxford I was on about.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
My apologies.
It's alright, I accept your apologies.
Thanks.
No problem. Oh my god. Oh, stop the world! Birmingham got a 4-2 in 15. No, I don't believe it.
$57.33.
Yeah, stop the world.
Nice to see Ben Cook had a better night tonight than he did last night.
Oh, so that's Ben Basso's maximum gone. I don't know what the score was, but one of Brennan and Pavlicki won it, and one of them come third.
You know it's bad when you only have 2 heat winners all night.
Is that what Birmingham have had? I've not even looked.
Looking at this, obviously Heat 15 hasn't gone up yet, but
So
only Justin Sedgman is...
Oh, he's only said, oh, good Lord Almighty.
Still no update from Oxford. If Christina could put the 2 minutes on at Oxford, it would be greatly appreciated.
Updates is going a bit slow, so I've asked Mr. Dave at Kings Lynn to give me the score, but he's already given me the wrong score once, so I've asked him to give me the finishing order. It's going to be an interesting night, I think. Tolly and the rest of the Brummies management need to have a sit down and a discussion, I think, about where they go from here. I don't just think the team's the problem, I think the management's the problem.
Yeah, well, I think ideally, I know you guys like to do this at Brum, you need a management fans forum where the fans can have a bit of a say as well. Just because I don't think you'd be the only one that has that opinion. I'm assuming we're still live, aren't we?
Yeah, we are live.
Good job, I'm still with me professional voice.
Yeah, it's one of them, you know, it is what it is, but it needs to be sorted out soon, because this is, you know, they've got one of the best riders in the world at Birmingham now.
if you want to laugh, my new Scunny merch looks like an old heron's bag.
Ben Basso went from maximum to last in Heat 15.
Well, he shouldn't have been so rubbish, should he? Should have got the full maximum, some may say.
So we'll just quickly run through the result from Heat 15 at Kings Lynn. It was a win for the rider in yellow, Piotr Pavlicki, second in blue, Jan Kvek, and third in white, Tom Brennan. Makes the final score 57 points to 33. Kings Lynn are trolling Birmingham with their post. Kings Lynn Stars put out on their updates, better late than never, as Samo Malenko decides to use his tactical in Heat 14. You know it's bad when Kings Lynn are trolling you.
Oh, they did it with Ipswich, didn't they, when Doyley crashed?
Yeah, knobheads. They should look a little bit more closely at their own team and why riders keep quitting. So the final scorers for this meeting, starting with the Kings Lynn Stars, Benjamin Basso scored 13 plus 2 from 6, Ben Cook 12 from 5, Niels Christian Everson 7 plus 2 from 5, Jan Kvek 14 from 6, Patrick Wojtolo 9 from 5, and Anders Rowe 2 from 4. For the Brummies, Steve Worrell scored 5 from 5, Justin Sedgman 8 plus 2 from 6, Victor Lampard 2 from 3, Tom Brennan 7 from 6, Piotr Pavlicki scored 10 from 7, and Leon Flint 1 plus 1 from 3 rides. And with that, we'll wrap it up now because I'm bored.
Yeah, there's no more updates from Oxford at
Yeah,
the
we
moment.
could be waiting for a while and we can't be asked to do that.
Basically, what Dill said.
So yeah, let you wrap it up.
So, massive shout out and thank you to anyone that's joined us on this fine Thursday evening. If you're at Scunny on Friday or at Birmingham on Monday and see one of us, feel free to buy us a pint. Even though Dill don't drink, feel free to buy him a pint. And we will see you a week on Sunday for the Ben Fun Bonanza starring Strawberry Jam himself. But from me, from Dill, it's a very good night.